Hey, you guys. Welcome to From the DMV Live with MEKA, and happy Halloween. As always, I'm having technical difficulties. My mole just fell off my face, and my nose is melting off as we're speaking, for Christ's sake. How are you supposed to be a good witch without no moles and no nose? And I can't change my brand from Nudie J's brand, the after party, to From the DMV Live with MEKA. So we'll have the blessing of having his background today. What do you all think? Sounds good, right? So give me just one moment, and I'm going to try to figure out how to work his brand, so that I can still give you the show that I promised. Now, we're going to start off with a little video so I can see if we're even live in the first place. Let's look at BYB Live, because guess who has it on their brand? Nudie J does. Hey, you guys, I'm back. I hope you all can hear me. Please let me know if you can in the chat. We're switching over to new mics because we were having some issues with the other mic that we were using. So I don't know if that's going to work out. We might just have to go with raw sound out here. Yeah, I think we will. Give us 1 second. We're going to watch an MAB video here. Hey, you guys, I'm back. I'm trying to see if these mics work. Are you all able to hear me? If you are, please make a note in the chat. Please give us a note. Give us a little thumbs up. Okay. Sounds like we have volume. All right. So we might be cooking with gas. Let's get going. So I'd like to thank you all for joining me. Are you able to see? It's too dark. Yeah. Let's put you up here. Does this feel better? Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah. All right. So welcome to Jamaica, right? I'm down here for a lovely getaway, a lovely celebration of love and life with the lovely Ray. If you know who I am talking about, then you know. If you don't, call her Lucy. So today I have a great guest. My guest is going to be Gemini the Goddess. Gemini is a wonderful inspiration. She's a great individual, great woman, great wife, great friend. She's definitely a very big proponent of positivity and kindness and encouragement in this world. And she herself has had her own testimony, her own experience in life that, of course, I would like her to share with you all. So if you all would be so obliging as to welcome with me the lovely, the beautiful, the acclaimed Gemini, the Goddess. And for Halloween, she's dressed as a goddess, you all, of course. You should have been able to figure that out. Welcome, Gemini. Say hi to everybody.
Hello, everyone.
We don't have mics today, so we're just doing butt naked sound is what we're calling it.
And that's good because I don't like my voice anyway, so I'm good with that.
Well, we love your voice, though, and you have big things to say, so we want to make sure everybody hears you, right? Right.
Yes, hello, everyone.
Now, you have to excuse me in advance if my nose melts off while we're talking. I've been losing moles the whole conversation here.
That's okay. I'm losing everything.
No, don't let them fall out.
Yeah.
It's still a PG-13-ish show. No. So let's see if we can see our comments, too. I don't know how to put them up on here, so we probably won't. Oh, yes, we can. There we go. We can see the comments. Hello. Hey, how are you? And thank you all for joining us. All right. Now, Gemini, as I told you all, is an inspiration in herself. She's experienced trauma herself as well and endured it, survived through it, and is thriving afterwards. So we're going to touch on that. We're going to touch on some of the things that just make her her. She is an artist manager as well, which is a newer prospect of your entrepreneurial spirits, correct? However,
fresh on the block with that one.
However, you are doing it worldwide already. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm just saying, a lot of people have been doing some things for decades, and they are nowhere near having such an extensive catalog that you can say you're worldwide. So starting off worldwide, I think that's a big step.
Yeah.
So tell everybody a little bit about yourself. We have viewers, then we have people that come back and watch our playbacks, of course. Unfortunately, many more people catch the playbacks because people forget to set their timers, or we're an hour late like we are today. So they think maybe I'm not doing it. However, we're here.
We're on Jamaican time. Sorry, everyone.
That's right. We're relaxing. So tell everybody about yourself.
Well, my name is Amanda, but everybody knows me basically on social media as Gemini Goddess, especially here on TikTok. Mm-hmm. I have a pretty big following, like especially Jamaican TikTok for some reason. I don't know where it came from, but
we're actually not on TikTok. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube, and then we'll be having little snippets on TikTok.
Oh,
that TikTok emblem, that's from there, somebody else's brand. Yeah.
Okay.
Nudie J.
Oh, okay. No, I just saw the TikTok thing and thought we were okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. There's not much about me. I'm just me, basically. But what I like, touching on the artist management, I'm kind of new to that, but we are international.
How did you get into artist management? Can you hear over there too?
How I got into artist management, basically I was on TikTok just having conversations with people, mm-hmm. and an artist came on our platform and we were just having conversation with him, and he just said, do you want to, like, he said to my friend, like, I was telling him, like, she's an artist manager, whatever, right? And she's like, I think you should, she's like, you're really good with people. I think you should join in with me and on the company. And then I just started talking to artists, and it just went from there. Now we have artists in Jamaica, in the United States, in the mm-hmm. United Kingdom, the Bahamas, like, yeah.
I mean, you might be new to this, but it sounds like you might be true to this too, huh?
Yeah, well, you know what? I've always loved music.
That's a big thing. I
I've
think
always
that's
been a
important,
lover
right?
of music, and I've always been in business.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I did business administration in school. Like, I'm an overeducated fool. Never finished anything, but I learned a lot. I learned enough. No degrees to show, but
lots of education.
Yeah, but lots of education
and
like,
experience behind it.
And I worked for 23 years in customer service, so I have all that experience with that. I've always been into music, especially like reggae and dancehall music. Like, I was the 18-year-old on the stage with Sizzla Capleton wrapped in a Rasta flag, jumping up and down and burning fire with my torch and shit.
Burning fire? How?
I think it was like 18.
Oh my gosh! Like with a blowtorch type fire?
Yeah, more fire. You know the thing, right? And
more fire.
Exactly.
Yeah, we know about more fire. Okay, okay.
13 years old, sneaking out of my parents' house, going to Stone Love concerts.
Oh my gosh! What?
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness! So, yes, the experiences you had to have had.
Yeah, I have. Well, I have a sister who's 5 years older than me, and I'm actually the one who introduced her to partying.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But so tell me, what would you say is your purpose in life? What drives you?
Helping people, honestly, especially like children and stuff. Like right now, I'm working on a charity, where we adopted a school here in Jamaica. And in the summertime, we did like a back to school drive, and we did like a fundraiser to like put a roof on, like, and like that's what like drives me and gives me my purpose. That's what makes me feel good. Like, I love working with the artists, and I love helping them, doing their stuff. But like working with the kids and like just seeing the smile on their faces and stuff like that, that is what.
That's super dope.
If I could get into that full time.
And like, what is your nickname? There's a lovely little nickname. There's this guy out here that loves you, that calls you. What does he call you? What's the nickname that he gives you?
I have so many nicknames.
No, the nickname.
The nickname.
What's your nickname? Not Gemini the Goddess. It relates to who you are as a person, I believe.
Oh, you mean Mother Teresa?
That's the one. That's the one right there. Anybody calls Mother Teresa is definitely a giving person. I would say somebody who's probably aimed on positivity, no?
Well,
but what made you that way?
Well, the thing about what really made me that way is, like, I grew up and, like, I was born here in Jamaica.
Right.
Actually, right in this area where we are is where I grew up. And I grew up thinking that...
Where are we for people that don't know?
Oh, we are in St. Anne, Jamaica. Right?
Shout out to St. Anne.
Yeah, St. Anne. But anyway, I had to bring up my Jamaican side there.
Nobody shot any shots since I've been here. I've been waiting for somebody to boop, boop. Nobody's boop, booping. You know what I mean?
So, of course, the Canadian has to be, but yeah. But yeah, so, like, I grew up here, and I always thought that, everybody talked about, oh, we so poor, and so I just adapted to it, and I'm just a poor, misfortunate girl, but... as I got older and I saw what other people were going through, I'm like, damn, I wasn't poor. I was spoiled as shit, right?
How about that?
I always have been. But the thing about it is, it's like, I've always been that type of person, especially I'm raised by my mother and my grandmother, and they're the type of people that they would give you the shirt off their back.
Shout out to strong women raising strong women.
From that experience with my mother and my grandmother, it's just like, I kind of followed in their footsteps. Like, my grandmother was always the lady where, she would get a barrel from Canada and we'd be like, oh my God, here we go. Because we'd be going all over the neighborhood. You have to bring a bag of rice to Miss this and a thing to that. And she would feed like the whole community. And, like, I just grew up in a community where like everybody helped each other. Christmas time, everybody would be going, like, we always had extra dinner just in case somebody came by, and it was always that type of stuff, bringing extra lunch to school in case somebody didn't have it. So like, it's just kind of embedded in me.
A beautiful example.
Yeah, that's just how I ended up being who I am. Like, I learned from my mom and my grandma, right?
Well, my premise, right, is that everything that we experience, we all experience trauma. Life is going to life no matter who you are. And in lifing, unfortunately or fortunately, I guess, it shifts us and it makes us evolve. It forces us into a different space, right? But the kicker for me is, with everybody experiencing that, too many of us are not aware of it, right?
Yeah.
So can you share with my viewers a instance that you may have had that, life really lifed on you, and what did you do to keep yourself from just playing possum or giving up or even killing yourself, literally or figuratively?
Oh, Lord, I have been through those. Well, the first one I can say is my daughter was born on my birthday. my firstborn was born
Oh,
on
wow.
my birthday. She was actually premature. She went into labor because I had somebody hanging out the side of the window. I was about to throw out the window.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I had a family member found out on my birthday that she was having an affair with my sister's. Yeah, and I went kind of psycho and almost threw it out the window. Same day.
While you were pregnant.
Oh yeah, while I was pregnant.
Oh my
Same,
gosh.
So I went into labor same day while I'm in labor at the hospital with my about to have my firstborn on my birthday. I had a female come into my delivery room to let me know that we are both engaged to the same man.
Oh my gosh. And hold on. While somebody else might be experiencing death and might be like, oh my God, I experienced death. That's nothing. You know how many people, I know people personally who have literally committed suicide or killed themselves off of the fact that somebody was cheating on them.
Yeah.
So that's not a light thing to run into. So how did you keep from playing possum in that moment, especially you're in such a vulnerable state, dealing with such a rough situation already? Your chemical imbalance is heavy after you have a baby.
Well, that's the thing is I had a baby and she needed me more than anything else. And that's where I focused. And you know what? I had a good, I can say my mama. My mom is like my strength, my backbone, the person that keeps me going no matter what. You know? But after that experience, I had decided that, you know what, I'm just going to raise my daughter. To hell with men. I'm done. I don't want any part of that, but that wasn't God's plan for me.
How about that? So what happened next while you were giving up on men and all done and all happy with just you and your baby?
Well, there's quite a few men who wish I had given up on them because I made a couple of them lives live in hell, but in true fact to God and his testament and what he decided for me is like, okay, you know what? You might give up, but I'm not giving up on you. And that's how I ended up meeting my husband. We've been together now for 18 years. Like September that just passed made 18 years.
Congratulations.
And we're celebrating
that's
our 14th wedding anniversary on the 27th of December.
That is beautiful.
It hasn't been an easy road. Long distance, like practically the whole marriage has been long distance, even when we're living in the same country.
You all were long distance for a while? Where? How far?
Well, he was here in Jamaica. I was in Canada.
Oh, goodness.
So there was that.
That's not a block away, you guys.
Then when he came to Canada, he got a job in another city. So it was like a 2-hour difference. So like we had that going where basically he was only coming home on the weekends until I moved there. But then when you asked me that question about racism, that's when I experienced racism moving into that little small community. So I had to get the hell out of there and move back home.
Tell us a little bit about where you moved to. Where did you find yourself? Where did you end up moving to?
I'm from Canada, and people say that in Canada there is no racism.
However,
that is complete and total bullshit. Excuse my language.
Right.
I was living in the Greater Toronto area, and we moved to a small town called Woodstock.
Woodstock. I think we've heard of Woodstock. No, people?
Woodstock, Ontario.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, back in the...
How was that?
It was hell on earth. When we moved there, the school that my children went to, they were the only all black kids. They were the only kids that had both a mother and father that were black.
And how did that experience translate for them? Not only for them, but as a parent.
See, for my children, it was two sides of it. Was either people were extremely fascinated with them.
Yeah.
Like obsessive fascinated, like touching their hair and, and touching their skin and surprised.
How did you prepare them for that?
It was hard because we came from the GTA where everybody but my oldest, she kind of led the reins and kind of we're just like everybody else, get over yourself. She's she's tough cookie, so she kind of handled it. My son, he was a newborn, so he didn't have. It was my middle daughter. She's the one who kind of had it because and because she's light skinned too. So with her, it was the hardest thing that my kids had was the whole question of, why are you that color and your sister's that color and do you guys have the same parents?
The whole mixture that we have.
It's it got to the point where we were so used to people staring at us and stuff like that we would I would go into Walmart and my kids, I'd have them all line up in a line as we're walking, people are staring and we're just doing the wave not the pageant wave. Oh yeah, we did the pageant wave to everybody smile and wave, children. You know, yeah. So we did that. Like,
so being Black in Canada, you all, it definitely is an experience if we haven't had it yet, or is it still like that though? Because that was a little while ago, right?
It is. I don't know about Woodstock because I got the hell out of there because I couldn't deal with it anymore. Like I went through instances where like my daughter would open the door to go into a store and then somebody would wipe off the handle before they would touch it again.
Oh.
My middle daughter, she got body slammed into the ground and called a nigger.
By who?
A child in her class, and then the mothers thought that it was okay because her child just didn't understand. I almost caught a charge.
Yeah, that's gotta be hard.
Yeah, and I don't know if y'all are used to it, but I'm used to the, you know, when Black people see each other, the head nod.
The head nod. Yeah. I just did it up the street. I did. I didn't know if it was universal or not.
Well, yeah,
it seemed like it was.
Yeah, well, we didn't have that in Woodstock, so because there were no Black people for me to do that to. So when I got back to the Greater Toronto, I almost got whiplash because I seen everybody else.
You was head nodding all over.
So you think I was a headbanger all over. Yeah. So, yeah. Like little things like that, you don't even realize how much you miss it until you had it taken away. I lasted 5 months in Woodstock. 5 months.
5 months. That's a long time.
It was.
But, it's like half a year, you know.
But eventually, and it was bad because like I lived in a complex. Mm-hmm. Only one person that would talk to me in the whole complex, and it was this young female, and she could only talk to me in the daytime while her boyfriend was at work.
Not there to see it.
So eventually I got sick and tired of being her dirty little secret, and I was just like, I know, you know.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, Daniel said that's just crazy. That really is.
It was crazy. And then I decided, true Gemini form, I'm like, listen, if you can't beat them,
but you stayed in Canada. So where'd you go from Woodstock?
Oh, no, I went back to where I came back. I went back to the Greater Toronto area because that's where I went back to my mama's house.
Yeah.
Listen, it was hard enough being 2 hours away from my mama. I'm a mama's girl.
Place.
Yeah. I went back to my mama's house. And yeah, that's where I've been ever since. Yep, I'm 44 years old and I still live with my mama, and I'm proud of it.
There's nothing wrong with that. I think that it's too often in our, especially as generations have gone on in our culture, that we don't do family dwelling more often. You know, a lot of people talk about generational wealth and things like that. Part of the generational wealth that you should be teaching your children is how to live together, how to work together, not just how to, I don't know, put a facial on or make sure you meditate or something. You know, it really is important that you teach them how to work together and form that network, because we're all here for each other. Otherwise, you wouldn't need each other, but you do. You know what I'm saying? Too many people say, I don't need anybody. Everybody needs somebody.
Oh, no. And see, that's why with my sister and I, right? My mom sacrificed her whole life, single parent, raising the two of us, right? Mm-hmm. So now that we're adult, like my mom didn't get married until I think I was 15 years old, and I'm the youngest one. So like, you know, like basically it was just the three of us. Mm-hmm. So now as adults, right? I have my family. Mm-hmm. My sister has her family. Life ain't easy in Canada, I'll tell y'all that. One person cannot, you cannot, after the last 8 years, you gotta have multiple people living together. I would not be able to travel and do the stuff that I do if it wasn't for the fact of having the family support.
Right.
Like my children have never been to daycare or babysitter or anything like that because my mom and my sister and I, we kind of like took turns with our kids.
That's a blessing. You know? Yeah, that's a blessing.
Right? So like, even my nephew's 30 years old. He's never been to daycare or any of that stuff because, like, me, my mom, and my sister, we took turns doing and taking care of him,
right?
And stuff, right? So then, that's why I'm able to do this stuff. And now that my parents are older and retired and they're in poor health, you know, my mom sacrificed her whole life to take care of me.
And now,
my sister and I, we are now taking care of my parents, and you know, we got 3 generations living together. You know, there's my mom, then there's us, and then there's our kids. And, like, you know, and we all just kind of, we have our
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think, in all honesty, the goal should be that we grow older and we grow up as families and we're there for one another. You know what I mean? Exactly. Community finances as well. That's right. That's right, Damon. That's what I'm talking about. Too many people are unaware of the fact that we don't recycle our dollars. We get paid today, and the average Black dollar is out of the Black community by tomorrow. Actually, it doesn't make it in the Black community for an hour. You can look it up if you don't believe me. I don't quote things that are just, you know, from my head. But
that's another thing. As you speak of the Black dollar, that's another thing that I do as well. Is I try to educate our people about, like, our hair. and
yes.
the products that we use on our skin, and trying to keep, small businesses. Like, I'm a big advocate of buying black.
Yeah.
I think, we do need to do a little bit more, because too often you see, okay, if you look at the Jewish community, if you look at the Orientals,
yes,
they spend within their. I'm sorry,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm Canadian. That's what.
It's okay.
Yeah, okay, but yeah, they keep it in their community, right?
Yes.
But like,
they do.
But like with black people, we tend to support everybody else except our own. We are more likely to support other cultures than we are our own.
But there are reasons also, right?
There are.
But I want to say, so I don't know if people are really aware. We always talk about how our dollars go outside of our community, but I don't think we talk too clearly on what that means. So if I get paid right now, right, the first money that I spend indicates where my money goes to. So if I take my money and I go to I go to the Thai nail shop or the Vietnamese nail shop, instead of going to the black girl that does nails, I just took my dollars out of the community right there. If I go to, I don't know, KFC, instead of going to the young lady selling plates or the, whatever black owned, I don't know, what's a black owned soul food place in the DMV? I don't know, one of those. Don't go to Ann Pizza though right now, but it's one of those. Then you definitely are putting your dollars outside of the community, outside of the black community. And the second that you spend that first dollar outside of the black community, that's how long you kept your money in the community. See what I mean?
Yeah. But then again, we as business people, the people that are running business, need to learn that better customer service.
Amen.
Because you cannot expect people to spend with you, but then you won't have an attitude on top of it. And,
Yes, exactly. Hey, Leela.
Yeah, customer service is definitely something that we are lacking in. Yeah.
Did she? You went off on the pineapple man today?
I didn't do it, but he had to, because what? We got there, and calling him, basically ignoring us. Then you put in an order, you say, I don't sell it like that. I sell it like this. You know what? You have to learn to adapt to your customers, and then you won't give attitude on top of it. You're selling on the side of the road. You need to cater to people buying. Be happy that you're getting a sale. And, not saying that you should bow down to anybody, but customer service is very important.
It really is. Yeah. And I want to make sure I also show you all this quick clip in a little bit. I had the opportunity to meet a young lady named Rosie on the side of the road on the way from the airport, you guys. Great. I mean, I can't even say enough about this lady's spirit. But the whole time I've been in Jamaica, Gemini, everybody that I've met has been so amazing. I can't lie. I think it's something in the dirt. I think it's something in the soil. You know what I mean? The earth that they come from.
And I do find that customer service by Jamaicans, especially at the airport, restaurants, and stuff like that, here is way, way better than in Canada. I don't know. It's way better than the Jamaican, when you go to Jamaican establishments.
Do you think that has to do with what you said about the racism or the lack of people of color that they may have experienced?
No, I think it has to do with the fact that there aren't that many Jamaican restaurants in Canada, so they feel like, you have to come here so I can treat you however I want to.
Really? Okay. That makes some sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I don't...
And we experienced that in the States as well. So, my nose, you guys. You saw that? My nose is coming off. Okay, so before we go any further, let me just go ahead and announce my costume. In case anybody didn't guess. Does anybody want to guess what my costume is before it falls all the way apart? What am I? Anyone? Probably no. I'm a rich witch. I'm just saying, but my nose is falling off, so I'm probably going to just take it off, I think, let it fall. I'll let it fall. But let me play this video real quick for you guys, because I think I can. Let's pray for me on this, though. Maybe not. I don't see it. I'm going to leave it alone and call that a day. All right. Now, I'm going to post it, though, so please stay tuned, because I'm going to make sure that I post it up so that you all can see it. Now, with regard to multi-generational homes, that's becoming a more frequent thing. That's what Dee said and Damon said in the chat. And yes, it definitely is. I know in my mom's neighborhood, for instance, where I grew up, there's so many more people. Well, it's funny because growing up, the only white people in the neighborhood are the ones that were doing the multi-families in one house, you know. Now it's like spreading out, and as our parents need more and more help, you know, they're definitely joining on. But listen, you have a very interesting story I want you to tell people about, and that's a little bit about your grandmother. As you said, you know, your grandmother was a very big inspiration. She helped raise you and everything. But tell them a little bit about your grandma. And
okay, yeah, well, yeah, my grandmother. Yeah, as I was saying, like, you know, I was raised by my grandmother. Mm-hmm. Well, partially.
Yeah.
Between the ages, between the ages of 2 and 7 years old, my grandmother raised me. Mm-hmm. And when I was 7 years old, I migrated to Canada, and that's where I was. Well, 5 years ago, the worst. Okay, 2019 was like the worst year of my life.
That's also when the whole big C, when we had the panorama kickoff, right?
Yeah, but this is pre-pandemic. This like segued into the pandemic. Okay. The pandemic was like the icing on the cake of my year. So yeah, 2019, 10 days after my grandmother's 92nd birthday, she passed away. And let me tell you, it was like, we knew it was coming, but it was still really hard. It didn't make it any easier. Yeah, like I still remember on her birthday, I'm so traumatized by it on her birthday, her like on the phone, like she didn't recognize any of us anymore. She got to that point. But I still remember, like I'm still traumatized by calling to speak to her on her birthday and hear her crying and begging God to take her. Oh! Yeah, she had kidney failure, everything. Like it was traumatic as hell. My family is...
Looks like Adrian's back, huh? Go ahead.
My family is my family. My family, okay, and it's typical Jamaican family. My grandmother passed away in May.
One moment. So I'm gonna take you all to see this. All right. Is that him coming? Okay, he's coming, you all. You see my nose falling off? Can you all see that? He's coming, you guys. We're about to turn the camera. Did y'all see that? I'm just saying, that was pretty dope. So that's Ray's fiance. He was just coming back from getting some things added to the car. I don't know if you all can hear me. All right. I just can't hear anymore. The show's about to end. It's too loud for you all to hear. So he just pulled up. He just got some things done to the car. As you all can see, I lost my nose. Ray said sorry about the sound. However, you all got to see firsthand a little bit of what's going on here and what we're working on here. I put my nose back on a little bit there.
Welcome to Jamaica.
But welcome to Jamaica. It's 4:44 in Jamaica. And so we are about to close out the show also because, of course, I came on here an hour late and I don't want to be inconsiderate of the people after us. So I'm going to do a little bit more touching in with Gemini. But before we go, I would like her to come and give you all her closing thoughts, her closing feelings, the things that she, you know, has on her heart and her spirit to share with you all about why existing is just not enough. Because even today, when we're out dressing up and having fun and being silly and stuff, you have to remember that you have to live a purpose-driven life. You're all here for a reason. We all are. But the fact of the matter is, no matter what reason you're here for, you have to contribute to the greater good. And you have to do it consciously every day. Otherwise, what's your point? Now, Gemini, can you give us your final thoughts for the viewers?
Final thoughts. Well, I strongly believe in everybody serves a purpose.
Yes.
Like, and I've experienced that in my life. Like, literally everybody that I have met, you know, they may not last in my life, but it's like an introduction to somebody who, you know, who's elevated me in to a certain level, you know. It's like, and basically it's all about just knowing who you are, doing what you need to do, and being good to humanity and being good to yourself, right?
Yeah.
Because if we aren't good to each other, who won't be?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And I'm learning, this is a process for me, I'm learning that in order for me to be good to other people, I have to learn to be good to myself.
Amen.
I'm learning it, I'm getting there, and like I said, all the process.
It only takes a spark, though, to get a fire going, right?
And that's why I'm so grateful that God, you know, with the process, I was able to meet Ray, who is educating me on self-love and, you know,
not just self-care.
Exactly, you know, and she's one of the first few people that I've met who's actually like checked me and said, like, you know, Gemini, you're doing too much for other people. What about you? You know? She's like, you know, as Cookie would say, she's my air.
Your air?
Yeah. Ray spelled backwards is air, you know? She's the air. Yeah.
No, it's not.
R-H-E-A. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it is not air.
Well, not that.
These people gonna stop messing with me and my literacy out
but
here.
But the way it's the R-H-E-A, not the R-A-Y.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yes. Okay, I get you.
So, yeah, you know, and that's, you know, and I just do what I can and just be me as best as possible. But I'm learning day by day that in order for me to be good to other people, I have to be good to myself.
Yeah, that's the absolute truth. You have to create those boundaries. You have to create time and space for yourself. You have to honor yourself over others sometimes. Even if that person's in a bowl, you know, it's not your responsibility. Everybody is not your responsibility.
Yep, and you definitely have to take some time. Sometimes you have to step away from situations and not be Mother Teresa.
Hey,
as much as nothing wrong with being Mother Teresa, but not all the time.
You can't be.
And I'm slowly but surely learning that.
So your final word for the viewers, your advice for them is to what?
My advice is love one another, be positive, but make sure you love yourself first.
Amen. Now that was a word for you all. I appreciate you all tuning in. I'm sorry I was an hour late. I won't do it again. I can't say that. I'll try not to do it again. But have a great day. Have a beautiful week. Enjoy football tonight. Be the best you, because there's literally nobody out here better suited for that job than you. And I'll talk to you next Thursday. Peace.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, you guys. Bye.